How you doing, everybody? I'm Pabs, a racing VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be working on this is going to be the last one. This week we've been doing a lot of updating old character reference sheets in preparation for an event called Art Fight. Now, every time I do these streams, I feel like I should do a little bit of a explanation of what Art Fight is during the preamble, so I'll cover that right now. If you've never heard of it before, Art Fight is an event that happens all throughout July, where you upload reference pictures of your original characters to a website, Art Fight, and you join one of two teams. Now, whatever team you join, your goal is to draw the characters from the other team as much as possible during the July period to gain points for your team. And at the end of the month, the totals are tallied up, and whoever has the most points wins. So, very simple concept, very fun little concept. I always love it. I always love seeing like what people do for it. I love looking at other people's characters. It's a lot of fun. It's always very interesting to see what people come up with. So I'm always happy to be a part of it. That being said, usually because it happens every year, my art style usually changes at least a little bit between those times. So I do feel obligated to update my character sheets almost every year. Almost, but not every year. And that's what we've been doing recently. We've just been going on stream and just updating the sheets. So this time around, we'll be working on Roland's sheets. So let's head on over to the workshop. It's weird that I call this like the work area or like the workshop when the kind of just chatting screen looks more like a workshop than, you know, the actual work area. It's weird. It's odd. It's odd. Not that weird, but it still feels weird. It's normal, but it's nevertheless weird. In any case, we got Roland here. Roland is one of my favorite dudes. He's been a long-time character of mine. So I am going to try and kind of just stuff all the kind of like previous year stuff in here. And we'll be working from scratch, more or less. Y'all hear that? I think like something fell outside. That would make sense, though. It's a rainy day out here today. Yeah, very dreary weather. I like it a lot, personally. I like, sunny weather is nice. But I personally quite like Mob Boy. Wait, no, hang on. Forget making character reference sheets right here. Mob Boy 1 front. Oh. Wait, so now you can just, like, have these dudes, like... You know how in like anime and manga they'll just have like people like shadow people running around in the background, just kind of like fill out the space. They've included one of those here as part of like the default materials. Oh, and a girl too. Why are there kind of perspective? This is a weird perspective, right? Like there's like some kind of weird perspective thing going on because like those are very skinny limbs and legs. These two mob characters could be knocked over by a stiff breeze. I am convinced of this. Is there like a mob that has like been more healthily fed? These are like these are like the mobs you see at those like competitions. You know, they've been like genetically modified for generations to just have like one very specific kind of like look to them, but it's not healthy for the mob at all. Okay, before this gets any weirder, let's kind of just drop in Roland. Alright, height is pretty good. We do want him to be kind of like lean, like kind of on the lean muscle side of things. That's a little, that's a little thicker than that. There we I think that's good. Okay, and then we'll need the pose for him. I've actually got a couple of poses lined up here, but yeah, I think last year I had him in with like this kind of hands in his pockets kind of pose. That's good, but like I don't like. I've noticed that whenever I can't think of anything to do with people's hands, I put them in their pockets. Which is cool, it's fine, it works, right? But, I'm not so sure I like it so much anymore. It feels weird, it feels like I'm giving up a little. Hand out papers. Funny running. Alright, relaxed stance. Okay, so what about... Oh, this is weird. Sunsmug. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Liev? This somehow... Okay, so this pose is nice, but like this like this pose right here, this is kind of like how I feel when I come home from work. Just utterly. In my family, we call it molido, which literally means ground like beef. That's just, yeah, that is how you feel. You know, you come home, you're kind of exhausted. I don't know. I think I remember using like one that's like for climbing stairs as a... What do you call, like, hang on, stairs. Go upstairs, go downstairs. Yeah, go downstairs, I think is the one that I used. Alright, so we'll put this leggy out over here. Hips, maybe kind of like at this position. This is kind of like a... Whoops. I disappeared, man. Okay. Alright, kind of point the head upward. What am I moving? What was I moving just now? I don't... It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Okay, so what about like kind of like holding his arm out in like a friendly way? I feel like that would be him. Alright, and then just kind of bend the wrist over here. Maybe relax the, what do you call the hand a little bit more. There should be one for those right here. Blah, 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 blah. Hand gesture, no. Just type in relax, that would be better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Something about it still doesn't feel all that natural. I feel like maybe it's like... no. I think it's the shoulders. I think that's what's bothering me. Maybe it's also like the hand. Maybe it's like better like... Yeah, I feel like this is good. This feels pretty natural. All right, let's just kind of move him back a little and a little off to the side. Make sure he's looking straight at the camera. Kind of like this. Nice, there we go. Just dropping down a little bit lower. Okay, I think that should be good. Yeah, I used to not really go for the kind of more dynamic poses in the kind of like just plain one. But ever since I realized that I could... Well, it's not that I realized anything. It's more like I realized that, you know, there's not going to be like any one perfect angle for these characters to kind of stand in. So I might as well like make it a little bit more like their personality, right? You know, add a little bit more dynamism to it. Dynamism? Dynamicity? One of those words. You throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. That's how you do it. Okay. Say a G-pen. Cool. Okay. Dynamite. Yeah, linguistics is pretty. Yeah, that's yeah, that's one explosive pose you'd be going for. Dynamite is such a fun word to say, is my opinion. I feel like the thing is, right, dynamite in and of itself is obviously very dangerous. But you see it so much in cartoons and, you know, just kind of as a goofy thing that, you know, I feel like they used to, like the joke used to be that like in cartoons, dynamite was like way less powerful than it should be, or like, you know, the fact that they brought out dynamite at all was just like a bit overkill. But the fact is that like now that they've had Dynamite so often on cartoons, it just feels like kind of silly. And now that's also become kind of like a shorthand. But Dynamite has become cartoonish. I mean, you know, obviously it's probably not that way for anybody who works with Dynamite. At least I hope not. But I feel like, you know, it's been in enough cartoons and stuff that like we can now safely say, yeah, Dynamite's a bit goofy. You can get a little goofy with Dynamite. You can get a little silly. Yeah. The thing about Roland's hair, which is a lot of fun, is that it is kind of like the very curly kind of 4C hair. Dynamite was lethal as all hell. Hey Harvey, how you doing? Yeah, I mean I've seen gameplay of Blood. I know Dynamite. I know what Dynamite can do. But it's like it's been in so many cartoons and shit that it's just goofy to me now. Like a dude pulls out a stick of dynamite, and I'm like, oh fuck, look out, Yosemite Sam's pulling up. Come on now. Also, happy birthday, Harvey. How you doing? Okay. Man. Yeah, I feel like now the kind of like... The thing is, right? Dynamite used to be kind of like hot shit for quite a bit of time, but now that we have like plastic explosives and stuff, now you can just use C4 or like Semtex for anything that's supposed to be serious. Railway workers had to be extremely careful of where they placed them, because even the summer heat could set it off. So no happy birthday song? Alright, if you... I mean, I don't know. If Harvey asks for it, then I will 100% do it. Otherwise, it's like when you tell restaurant staff that it's your friend's birthday, and you know, then they have to sing them the song. It's a lot of fun. Serenade me, motherfucker. Alright, as you wish. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Harvey. Happy birthday to you. Cumpleaños feliz. Te deseamos a ti. Feliz cumpleaños, Harvey. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Hey, que viva el santo. Happy birthday, man. Alright, there we go. Consider yourself serenaded. But yeah. It's my pleasure. The fuck, that's how you sing it? Do not get on my case about how people sing happy birthday, alright? I've heard it in like 6 different languages. I've heard it in like all different... It's always different. It's always unique. You were born, you will die, and that is it. Alright? That's actually a bit too dark. Okay, that was unnecessarily harsh. Penalty for unnecessary roughness. Wait, what'd I walk in on? Oh, I was singing Harvey happy birthday. In English and Spanish. And apparently Leo has some kind of issue with this. I don't know. Regional variants of songs are so much fun. It is Harvey. Oh, that's... This is so fucked. I did not draw these eyes the same size at all. Alright. Try that again. Alright, and don't cross the eyes like this. Yeah, it's hard to like draw eyes kind of like looking kind of dead ahead without accidentally crossing them. Just curiosity, but that you took it as malice. Listen, you That's true. I shouldn't assume such things of you. That was my beat. Unless you're saying this deliberately to get my goat, but in which case either I haven't learned my lesson or I was right to distrust you. Listen, growing up with like people who teased you a lot will make you very easily defensive. Whatever. As long as we are all having fun, I think that's what matters. I know I'm having fun. I'd be having more fun if I could get these friggin' eyes right, but you know. I need to give you like your own version of Sun Smug because I feel like you would be like a devastating weapon if I did so. Drawing is hard. That's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what makes it easier? Good music. But I also know that you guys listen to the same. What is this? Like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minute track that I kind of just like put as my background music all the time, which I imagine can get pretty grating. I've been meaning to like find. These eyes are like way too big. There's something. All right, hang on. Something about this guy. I may need to like stop overthinking it. You should make a smug emote. It's so powerful. Yeah, that's like too wide is the problem. Yeah, Roland has a very kind of high protagonist energy quotient. And that might be because he is supposed to be the protagonist, but I kind of want to give him like a very friendly face. Yeah, Roland is like one of the wow, really tripped over my words there. Goodness, one of the characters that I've had like since long times. Like this guy's been around with me since I think middle school. You know, in like his earliest prototypes. So he has been here for like a while. I'm very happy with like how he's turning out. I feel like yeah, he's supposed to be one of those kind of like folk hero kind of vibes. You know, just kind of like going around righting wrongs and all that. He also knows like a special martial arts, which I'll get into later probably. Or I could get into it now. I mean, I love talking about martial arts. Hell, it's Friday. I can do what I want. It's the weekend. Let's get loose. Anyway, Roland's martial art is called The Way of the Moon. It was developed by his father, Charlie Magnum. Yeah, Roland is loosely, and I mean extremely loosely, based on the paladin of the same name. Bro, this is your own stream! Listen, if I want to be... yeah, that's true. Like I said, I have like such a deadly fear of being cringe. Alright. Well, you know, if you ask for it, then... Or actually, you're not asking for it. In any case, I'm allowed to talk about whatever the hell I want. You know, now you've given me this self-confidence. Now this is a dictatorship. Anyway, I thought you were self-aware. Sometimes. I'm self-aware sometimes, you know? Your mileage may vary on how self-aware I am. You know, I feel like I can be very dense about some stuff. But that's fine, you know. I'm so witty and charming and excellent all the time that it more than makes up for it. In any case, it's time to be a little bit self-indulgent about this dude's lore. Okay, so yeah, loosely based on the I think it's called like the chanson de geste. I'm not about to try and pronounce it like French people do because that's such a pain in the ass. Anyway, long ago, some dude wrote a poem about a guy that got so mad he killed a lot of foreigners and what was it again? Oh yeah, then he got so mad again that he basically buried his unbreakable sword in a rock after falling to a like river of poison, and that's basically the poem that Roland is loosely based on. But like I took major liberties with it. In fact, the only thing that's left over is the fact that like he is called Roland, and that he has like a very tight bond with a dude who's loosely based on Charlemagne, which is fine. I feel like that's like one of the best things you can do for yourself when it comes to like historical fiction. Would it be called historical fiction? Yeah. Anyway, the whole kind of I originally like chose it because I felt like it'd be like a neat kind of historical allusion or something. But the more I read about like the actual plot of the poem, the less it seemed like a good idea to try to mirror it closely. Some things remained, like I said. For example, Roland's relationship with his father kind of mirrors the poem Roland's relationship with Charles the Great. Really don't know what's so great about him, but that might be that's for more historically minded people than me to decide. Charlemagne did not make the Magna Carta, right? Did he? I don't remember if he did. I feel like maybe it's because, like, historical fiction is when a story takes place during something that happened in the real world, but the characters and their adventures are fictional. Oh, then I think it does kind of count as historical fiction. Charlemagne is a real ass dude, but I don't think there was like a real dude named Roland runner. I mean, there might have been a real dude named Roland running around. Highly doubt he had an unbreakable sword, though. Yeah. Anyway, there is like a real world place. It's like this rock fissure or something where allegedly the poem Roland smacked his stupid unbreakable sword against the ground so hard that it created a crack in the earth. Okay, there we go. Yeah, another kind of a holdover is the character of Olivier, who I turned into another OC called Olivia. She's also... Her thing got weird because eventually I also combined some of her backstory with the... what is it called again in English? The cattle raid of the Coolie. The Taimbo Cool... I'm not even going to try to pronounce it in Irish. Basically, the story where Cuchulainn is like the most famous Cuchulainn story, basically. Yeah, her story has some elements of that. Anyway, moral of the story is when you start trying to spice up your character's lore with like historical allusions, be prepared to butcher a lot of it and be prepared to disregard even more. That's what I've decided for myself. But yeah, so yeah, more positive traits about Roland. He's a cowboy. He, not as in like the profession, but like very much with the kind of aesthetic. He is supposed to be like cowboy themed. I don't know why I chose this. I think like, okay, so I think the kind of thought process was that I wanted him to have a horse like in the original, like in the, what do you call it, in like the story. The Magna Carta was signed in an open field by King John, as he was held at pitchfork point by 40 barons and hundreds upon hundreds of starving peasants. Radical. We should bring that back, honestly. You just don't see many pitchforks around these days. You know, I feel like more people... I feel like more people should carry pitchforks. You know, speak softly and carry a big pitchfork. I think that's how the phrase used to go. We've as a society we've started missing out on that and the benefits that it brings. All right, but yeah, that it would be the English who, yeah, the Magna Carta, huh? I don't even remember what it was supposed to do. That thing, probably something important, all things considered. Okay, yeah, we got this kind of like weird staircase pattern on the jacket is also supposed to be like a cowboy send-up. I don't remember how exactly, but it is. Oh boy. Okay, then kind of like this, I think. Okay, then over here, same kind of deal. Yeah. The way that historical document, like, I love learning about history because you don't get it just the bad, you also get a lot of the good. Like, for example, that one dude who, I think, yeah, this is like a thing that was being passed around on Tumblr, I believe, so take it with a grain of salt. But basically, there was a story that this dude used to be like the modern equivalent, the ancient equivalent, I'm sorry, not modern, the ancient equivalent of one of those dudes who drove around a truck full of prisoners to take to prison. And, you know, he kind of, I think like he got caught in the middle of a rebellion, or the kind of like convoy he was on got like absolutely wrecked. If history has proven anything, the worst thing that could happen to your kingdom is to have the common folk finally get sick of your shit and overwhelm your trained warriors with sheer numbers. If you fucked up so bad that the common folk and the nobility want you dead, you have utterly failed as a leader. I mean, you're preaching to the choir here, buddy. Like, nobody knows more about, like, God, I don't know where to take that joke, actually. I don't, that's just, yeah, that's just kind of politically speaking, absolute fact. Wasn't that kind of like the point of like The Prince or something? And that thing that was written by Machiavelli? Machiavelli? That Italian guy? I don't remember what the whole kind of point of The Prince was. I think like I think The Prince was like a training manual for like some weird kind of upstart new revolutionaries who basically decided that, hey, we own Italy now. And he was like, okay, I don't want this nation to get fucked completely. So I guess I should train these nincompoops about a couple of qualities of good leadership. And now in the modern day, people use his name as a synonym. I was looking for that word. Synonym for somebody who is scheming and nefarious and treacherous. Which is funny, I think. I think like that. I think he would be happy with that kind of reputation. I feel like if he was like, so wait, you're telling me Machiavelli? The whole point of it was that you can be loved, you can be feared, but by God, avoid being hated. Yeah, that's fair. That's really good advice. You know, I feel like that's good advice. Yeah, you know, like I feel like, yeah, ultimately you don't want to be hated. I don't think so. You know, you can be feared, sure. I don't think you can. I mean, you can try to make people fear you, but that also just makes you kind of suck as a person. You know, it's just not a lot of fun to hang out with a dude who wants to be feared by people. Like, but like legitimately, I don't mean like, you know, like there's a difference between like basic respect and fear. But like, you know, if a dude is like, yeah, I want people to like shake in their boots whenever I enter their room, that guy's kind of an asshole, right? Like, I am saying this from my own point of reference. I used to be that guy, and it's not fun. It's not great for you. Okay. Here we go. Anyway, yeah, I think I made Roland kind of like cowboy themed because I think the whole kind of thought process was, okay, I want these guys to have horses, but I hate drawing animals, so I'm just going to give them motorcycles, which are much easier to draw, he said, like an idiot. Machiavelli literally said you can be a tyrant, but at least try to be a competent tyrant. Yeah, I mean, that's... Like, the thing is, right? What... And this is like a legitimate question, because like tyranny, right? Tyranny is bad, objectively speaking. You know, not being able to like choose your own destiny kind of sucks. But at the same time, if it's good governance, like I feel like that's much more of an ambiguous situation. I don't know. I feel like it's. I don't know, is living under a competent tyrant, like, cool? Is it fun? Because if you have, like, enough to eat, and you have... It's like bread and circuses, right? It's not great, but, like, you've got the bare minimum going on. I don't know, I've never lived under a tyranny, so I probably have no right to say anything about this. Right, it's supposed to be like a 6-shooter. The little logo on here. Yeah, no. Listen, fascism and tyranny are just like not cool. I think, like, even if it's okay to live under it as you are, then it's not going to be great for somebody else. Somebody always has to get the short end of the stick when it comes to that sort of thing. So, I don't know. That's just kind of like what I've observed. Okay, and over here. Perfect. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know nearly enough about historical tyrants to form an opinion either way. Look at Vlad. Vlad the Impaler. His rulership was so brutal. I left for a second. Why are you talking about fascism? I'm actually talking about tyranny. I think I just threw in the fascism there because they're kind of like synonymous to me. Look at Vlad the Impaler. His rulership was so brutal and bloody that his name is synonymous with torture and mutilation. He also ruled a kingdom surrounded on all sides by enemies, and he was adored by the people of Wallachia. Yeah, like I guess it is a matter of perspective, huh? Like, tyranny must be pretty sweet if you're the people being protected by the tyrant. But for everybody else, it's just gotta kind of suck, right? Also, yeah, I don't know. This is not this is like historical politics and all that is not my wheelhouse. So I don't feel qualified to like give an opinion on that. I mean, yeah, he was loved by the people of Wallachia, but like, I don't know. I'd rather not go into a battle of wits unarmed. You know. Let's talk about something that I am competent with, though. Chaos. That's not true. I don't think I'm even that good at making like chaotic shit happen. I just kind of bumble into it and then make the best of the bad situation. But anyway, apparently, okay, so in Nova Scotia, which is kind of like an Atlantic province in Canada, apparently. That's my thing. Yeah, I cannot infringe on Leov's IP, you know? Homies respect each other's brands. Yeah, I mean, you don't see Harvey trying to become a sentient bag of rice, do you? Anyway, cowboy boots. Right. In Nova Scotia, they're apparently going to build a replica of the Titanic. Not to sail. It's just going to kind of like be moored permanently. But you will be able to like enjoy the kind of authentic Titanic experience. Which to me, and not only... This is what really got to me. Part of the kind of like notice that I read for this was that there would be themed musicals, ballets, and content on board. I feel like the fact that there's a fucking Titanic fandom is mind-boggling to me. You know, obviously the 1985... Was it released in 1985? I feel like it was released in 1985. The 1985 film probably had a huge hand in that. But all I'm saying is you don't see this kind of people going up to bat for shit like the Hindenburg, right? I feel like part of the equation. Love that video of a mall flooding and they started playing Titanic music. That's hilarious. God. Yeah, I feel like part of it has to be the fact that like there are people who survived the Titanic. So, you know, you can think of yourself like, yeah, if I was on the Titanic, I'd survive. Fucking nobody. I don't think anybody survived the Hindenburg, so... Also, I'm not 80 to 50% sure that Hindenburg was a Nazi thing. I don't know. I don't know enough about aerostatics. There are Titanic fans. My brother has an interest in that fucking boat. The fact that you called it that fucking boat tells me so much about this. I mean, that, like I said, I think like it's part of the romanticization of it by the movie, right? Honestly, the one thing that I remember from the movie is like catching snippets of it as a child and laughing out loud when I saw that dude who, we all know the guy that you guys remember that scene that had like one of the turbines kind of like upright and a dude falls off a ledge. And on his way down, he hits one of the turbines and just goes spinning out of control. Do you guys remember that? Like, if you've seen Titanic, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Because I remember seeing that as a child, and I laughed, and my parents gave me this look like, what the why are you laughing? This is a tragedy. He didn't watch the movie. It's all the videos and books. I don't know what he likes about it. I mean, That brings it like that. No, don't bring back the little spinning guy. Come on, he suffered enough. Anyway, that brings a new kind of interesting dimension to all this because that implies that that he's just kind of interested in the historical aspect of it. You know, kind of like what led up to the event, which I will admit is probably very interesting. You know, I imagine that there has to be like some interesting reasons why it all happened. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I don't think so. The Hindenburg was indeed a Nazi thing. Ah, god damn it. Yeah. I hate it when that happens. In any case, that also probably explains why people aren't as jazzed about the Hindenburg as they are about the Titanic. That'll do it. Okay, so I think like from there. How do cowboy boots work again? I think like there's just a line down the middle, and then I can call it a day. Kind of like that. Perfect. Also, yeah, tomorrow I have to get up early and go somewhere on a bus for a while. The exam that I'm gonna take very soon is in a special testing center that they've kind of set up, and the wackest thing about this whole thing is that I know for a fact there is a center for the organization the exam is being provided for. I know there's like a learning center, and it's like literally in the same building that I work at. But no, I have to like take like a 40-minute bus ride out to this thing. It's ridiculous. I mean, like, I don't know why they stopped doing virtual testing. I mean, on the one hand, it does mean that I get to do like multiple choice questions instead of 2 cases, which is, nice. I feel like I do a lot better on the multiple choice stuff than I do on the cases. But at the same time, it's just really it really feels unnecessary to go back to like a mandatory kind of like presential thing. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, like I can't help but feel like somebody's gonna do some weird, wacky stuff to that friggin' Titanic replica. There has to be some dude who like immediately saw that advertisement and was like, "Oh, think you're safe from ice, do you?" And like it's just like now building some kind of giant ice ray to literally throw some kind of ice block at the replica, like something out of Smash Bros. I mean, on the other hand, he could just use it to reverse like whatever damage we've done to the ice caps, but who has time for that, honestly? I hope they have rats for the historical accuracy. Yeah, me too. Honestly, if you're spending like money to live the authentic Titanic experience, you can handle some rats. You can handle a little bit of plague rodent. I think you've got the money for the healthcare for that. Oh yeah, speaking of rats, recently I went on a little bit of a shopping spree on Bandcamp. I was getting tired of the music that I had. Have you ever like had like a solid collection of music, but then after a while you're like, if I keep listening to the same stuff, I am literally going to explode. That was me like a couple of days ago. So yesterday I went on a little bit of a Bandcamp shopping spree, and I've been getting some stuff that I've been meaning to get for a while. One of the things that I got was actually the Louis Zong discography, and one of the ones the tracks that he's made that I really like is it's literally just called Rats, and it's I think it's like his kind of there has to be like some kind of deeper meaning behind it, but it's literally about like how there's literally rodents everywhere where he lives, which is hilarious. No, it isn't. It actually sucks a lot to live somewhere with pests, but he made it sound funny. Yeah, Your Head's on Fire is also one that I really like. Skablam has also been a lot of fun. Besides Louis Zong, I also got an album from a band called Magnolia Park, who are a pop punk group. Pop punk is one of those things that is really difficult for me to say. I don't know why. I have no problem saying like popcorn, and that has basically the same syllables. It's just pop punk that I need to like enunciate every letter. It's weird. It feels weird. It doesn't feel good to say. It doesn't roll off the mouth easily for me. What else did I get? I got some, future-based stuff. A band called Mikasuki Big Wave. They're a lot of fun. I got some albums from a dude called Jer. They're a very interesting person, doing a lot for the kind of ska revival movement. I'm not sure if there is such a thing. I don't know if the ska revival movement is a real thing, but if it is, this person's like at the forefront of it. His mouth is a little high, isn't it? I think that maybe that's what's bothering me about the face. Alright, and I think I just have to add the hand here. There we go. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about this. He's supposed to be wearing a sword as well. Jeez, okay. Okay, so the belt loop would kind of go on from around here. How do I forget that this dude just straight up carries a sword? That's not the kind of thing you should be forgetting, I think. I mean, you've heard it a million times. You know, you're heading out for the day. You've locked up. You're halfway to the down the stairs of your apartment when you panic, triple tap, and realize, dear God, you've left your sword at home. Embarrassment. Friggin'. Okay, so I think the way this is gonna go is wait. I don't actually have the objects here, I don't think. I used to have objects. Well, no, it's not that I used to have them. I literally had them for about 3 days. If you remember, I actually did make Roland's sword in Blender. I did make that in Blender pretty well, I might say, and I managed to import that as a material to Clip Studio Paint, which means that if I wanted to, I could have gone into one of these little tabs and retrieved it from there, and I could have had a fully posable 3D model of Roland's sword. Unfortunately, that was about 3 days, I think, before my new computer arrived, and I haven't had a chance to kind of like port it over, which I should probably do at some point. I actually really liked how that turned out, so it'd be a shame if I didn't manage to get it back. You know, it's one of the more successful things I've made in Blender. Lord knows the Froggy isn't gonna win me any Blender awards. Do they have awards for Blender? There has to be at least like one competition running around out there for that sort of thing. I wonder how you judge that, though. Oops. Yeah, what else have I been listening to? I got a reggae album, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, I think the guy is called Phlox, and the album is called Square. It's a lot of fun. It's got a good rhythm. I've always liked reggae. It's probably because I like ska as well. I'm a very predictable young man. Yeah. But yeah, just having new music to listen to is such an invigorating thing, you know? It's so nice to just be able to listen to music that you haven't listened to before or haven't listened to death before. It feels good to listen to. It's like, and it doesn't have to be like even like a whole new set of albums, but I just liked being able to listen to something new for a change. Some of the songs I've had on my phone I've had since like 2016, so I've been listening to them quite a bit. I don't know. What's the longest you've listened to a song for? I don't mean like continuously, but what kind of song have you like always been listening to? I mean, for me, it's a lot of like Vocaloid stuff, right? That no matter how many times I listen to it, I don't get sick of it. You know, like Rolling Girl and stuff. Wawaka's album is really good. I don't remember what the album was called. Unhappy Refrain, that's the one. Yeah, well, Unhappy Refrain is I can always like listen to, and I always feel like there's something new in there. But even so, like you still get the craving for something new if you haven't listened to something new in a while. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably easier on stuff like Spotify because you can just like get stuff without having to like buy the full album, and I imagine that's nice. But you know, I've gone 22 odd years without getting a Spotify account, and I'm not about to start now. This handle is crooked, isn't it? There we go. Caveman things. Listen. Listen, you call me caveman things, but do you truly own the music that you listen to, is my question. Me, I have a Fatboy Slim CD that I can listen to whenever I want. How are you older than me and calling me caveman? Whatever. To each their own, right? Like, I don't like music streaming services all that much. I used to use one a lot, like a lot. But I don't care as long as my Discover Weekly is sexy. Fair enough. Yeah, like I said, it is like a matter of, just what are you willing to do? Like, how is it most comfortable for you to do these things? So for me, what's most comfortable is to just download entire new albums and then just have them for me to listen to or to add to a playlist or whatever. But and for you, it's to just get it off your weekly playlist. It's fun. It's good to have like differences like that. It kind of like maximizes the kind of exposure that an artist can get. Okay, I think that's pretty good for... hang on. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for just kind of like the kind of like main reference. I should drink some water. Oh yeah, something that really made me laugh today is... I don't know if you guys have seen this thing rolling around. Liquid Death. Yeah, it's... I'm not talking about poison. I'm not talking about some kind of weird murderous thing. There is a water bottle. Bottle is a bit of a stretch for it. There's a water brand rolling around called Liquid Death. Yeah, it's not the coffee one either. I think that's called Death Wish. Pretty sure. But yeah, there's this new... Oh my god, this is a JoJo pose. Anyway, there's this water brand that's been going around called Liquid Death. And their whole kind of thing seems to be that it's one of those I don't know how to put it. Like, how sometimes they'll make a shampoo bottle in the shape of a grenade or something to just cater to a male audience. It feels a lot like that. It's like how that there's those hygienic wipes that are literally called dude wipes, so that guys don't feel self-conscious when buying them. It's like one of those things. This is like mountain spring water, but essentially they've canned it so that it looks like a beer can. And what else did they do? Finally, water I can drink. Yeah, at last, water for men. Yeah, everybody knows the most macho thing you can do is to get dehydrated as often as possible. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of like their whole advertising campaign thing. They show some kids drinking the product and getting nuts and all that, but it's really just bottled. It's just like mountain water. So it's kind of like a parody of that. They're very much leaning on the whole absurdity of the situation. But it really just does feel so stupid. Sincerely. To me, it's just kind of the fact that I've been surviving only on my repressed tears. Oh my goodness. Yeah. There's that drink in Korea, right? Pocari Sweat. Now coming to a store near you, Leo of Steers. Yeah, there should be very, 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 very carefully judging this joke here. I was about to say there should be a drink named after every bodily fluid, but I feel like that's such a bad idea. That is such an awful idea. Don't do that. The little line here makes it look like it's just a little like pufferfish face. But yeah, that joke aside, it's gotten kind of weird to me that like nowadays some brands can survive on meme potential alone. Like that cannot be a sustainable business model, right? You know, you build up the hype for a little bit with like your stupid little advertisements. I think they also sold like plush toys of animals that have been mangled by plastic because like, you know, it's canned, so there's no like plastic in it as kind of like part of their marketing. And it's just back in the day, you know, you used to have like brands be kind of like banking on the reputability of themselves, but nowadays it's all about like who can make the best TikTok. It's gotten weird. It's weird to me. It's weird to me, especially because like I was like alive to see that kind of transformation happen. You know how time was like a brand using a meme was like the sign that the meme itself was dead. We need to go back to doing that. How quickly we forget the laser beam crab that says "Silence" brand. And if you've never seen that, let me show it to you real quick because it's really funny. Here it is. Yeah. Feast your eyes. This used to be the kind of common sentiment among anybody who tried to get a proper brand account going on social media. We should go back to this. Like, honestly, I feel like no, that's a bit too much, because I feel that some brands having a social media account is actually very good. So, for example, like, you know, like smaller printing houses or something having a social media account, that's good. That helps them kind of like connect with their community. That's important for them to survive, even. But like, if it's friggin' Starbucks doing some nonsense with like a friggin' Homer meme or some shit, then I start to get out the pitchforks a little bit. Speaking of absurd water brands and certain things I wish were real, I remember there was a fake advertisement. It's time. Oh, oh my goodness! Would you look at? Oh, I thought you were. I thought you were. Okay. I'll set the timer. Hang on. Where's my? Okay, I don't have my phone handy. So what we'll do is I'm gonna make my browser window real small, and I'm gonna turn on the browser thing, and I'm gonna look up 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Let's do 2.5 minutes. Fuck it, I'm feeling saucy today. Alright. Hang on. Where is this thing? There it is. Alright. Just gonna dragging this out over here. Oh boy, for the day you reach 5 minutes. Oh man. Don't do this to me. Whatever. Okay. Stretch the back. Get on up. Alright, nice shoulder width. Good and low. Hike up your pants so that you don't tear the leg holes, and start a timer. Alright, get low so that the camera recognizes you. I don't know why I took off my glove for this. I wear one of those little artist gloves. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh my goodness, this is gonna... I still have like 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. What the fuck? Oh man. I got caught up in the rain when I came home, and I think that might have to... So I ran home, basically, and I think that might have tuckered me out a little. Okay. Don't show weakness. Don't show weakness in the face of chat. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. it's always fun to figure out how exactly like characters like this hairstyle kind of works in a 3D environment. You know, you got like your Goku hair, right? Oh, that looks really creepy, actually. Hang on. Smaller? Whatever. You know, you got your Goku hair. Or whatever. But what does that look like from the side? I think, like, Goku's hair just looks like the same. No matter what angle you look at it from. It's like one of those, like, visual puzzles. Oh my god. Okay. Nope, breathing doesn't help. This is an isometric exercise, which means that... Yeah. So the thing is, right? Isometric exercises. Oh my goodness. Oh, 49 seconds left. Anyway, isometric exercises are funny because... You don't, breathing faster doesn't actually help you with isometric exercises. Like, it makes you feel a little better, but it's not actually helping you. And that's because isometric exercises don't actually, like, involve you moving your muscles at all. So no blood is flowing properly, which means that even if you're oxygenating your blood, you're not going to get any less tired from that. Proper breathing does nothing. 18 seconds. Why did I do this? I'm never setting it to 2.5 minutes again. I need to do more squats. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. I can't get up. I can't. My legs won't move. Oh my. Okay. Easy does it. Easy does it. Well, you know, if you have... Hang on, let me catch my breath. Oh god, okay. Let me do a couple kicks out here. Let me just wiggle my legs a little so blood flow is restored. What the fuck? It was not this hard the last time. Maybe I wasn't doing it in the right stance or something, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, if you get 5,000 channel points, you can make me do that again. There was a 15-minute cooldown though, so not like immediately. I'm not that eager to die. Wide Roland. Okay, still a bit wide there. Just a little narrower. Oh my goodness, I'm sweating. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Alright, I'm ready to rock. Okay, so then we're gonna do the back portrait here. Ugh. Yeah, I'm one of those people who gets, who starts yawning if they're out of breath. Apparently that's because, like, your brain is just trying to get as much oxygen in you as possible. And it turns out that one of the fastest way to do that is to yawn. Alright, I learned my lesson from Aster's weird kind of turnaround last time. I'm not gonna wait until the last second to erase the face. Thank you, Leah, by the way. That's good exercise. You know, you don't make enough time. You know, the reason I started streaming is, first of all, because I got inspired by the people who did stream. And I felt I wanted to try that. I wanted to see what that was like. Yeah, special thanks to V for that. I think her kind of like attitude towards streaming is what kind of got me interested in trying it out for real. But the thing that I've come to kind of realize is that streaming is also a great way for you to make time for your hobbies. You know, it's like having like gym buddies, you know? As soon as you like... If you get like a gym group going, you're not only kind of like obligated to help yourself, you're also obligated to go because other people are expecting you to be there. I'm not trying to... I am framing this as a purely positive thing. I've drawn more in the 6 months. No, it's been more than 6 months now, like 9 months or so that I've been streaming than I've probably drawn in the last 2 years. Or like a year and a half. Which isn't much considering COVID and everything, but like it's still like a substantial amount, right? You draw? I know you have that little icon that says that you're watching without audio, but are you watching without vision too? My brother in Christ, you're in an art stream. All right, I'll put the jokes about me not being funny off the shock, but you cannot say I do not draw. I work damn hard at this. Yeah, and you just switched up without video just for that bit, huh? That's great. I'm still a little out of breath from that whole thing. Jeez. Okay. Oh yeah, he has a logo on his back, so I'll draw that as well. Okay, so it's like a circle. It's still so weird that they call this an ellipse, you know? It's like weird. They can just call it a circle. I don't think it needs to be that complicated. Okay, then over here, increase the size of this just a little bit, and stick on the line over here. And copy and paste that. Perfect. Okay. I was talking about something. Right. So Liquid Death. You know, the article that I read up on about Liquid Death, it also kind of contrasted that brand to another kind of interesting water bottle brand, which calls itself Free Water. And the basic concept behind Free Water is that it sells you, quote unquote, sells you. It's an interesting concept. Basically, the concept of Free Water is that it sells you a bottle of water, but the thing is, the bottle itself is just plastered in advertisements. But the savings that they get from the money they get from those advertisements is actually passed on to you. So basically, you can quote unquote buy the Love Free Water feels illegal. Yeah, basically you can quote unquote buy this water bottle for free because the sheer amount of advertisement on the bottle pays for the cost of producing and making the bottle, and the advertising money is so much that they actually make a 30-cent profit on each bottle, which is fantastic. I love that concept. I feel like there should be more things to do that. I forgot how to draw this logo, so I'm going to go pull up a reference. Okay. What was I doing? Right, the reference. I think it was it was like one of those March drawings that I had around here. I think it was day 26. Booyah. Okay. Right, it was this thing. I should drink some water, speaking of which. But yeah, let me get one more look at that. Okay. So maybe it'll be better if I started from around here. No. Okay, wait, no. I know how to do this. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. This is how we do it. Actually, this nose is going to be kind of tiny. I love drawing I love making logos like this. Oh yeah. Recently I've noticed that there's been some dude putting up stickers of this, and this is so much fun. Alright, so I take the bus to work every day, and that gives me a couple of special privileges, such as the fact that one time when I got on the bus, a dude literally growled at me. But it also gives me the benefit of noticing a lot of things. Like the city where I live is surprisingly dense. So literally every time I go on my ride to work, I feel like I notice some like new little business or new little detail about the route that I hadn't noticed before. And the other day I noticed that some dude had been plastering like these anime girl stickers on some of like the stuff on some stuff around the on trying to find my words here on some stuff around the city. And it's the same dude because the design is the same. And I just love that, honestly. I feel like if more people should be allowed to like put and paste stickers on stuff. You know, it's just cool seeing like, I don't know, it feels nice. It feels like a little bit of extra art in the world. They were like really crisp ones too. Like the lining was really good. I'd share it, but I'm pretty sure you could figure out where I live if I posted them, so that's unfortunately gonna have to wait. God, yeah, I'm gonna be like 80 years old, and on my deathbed, I'll pass like my possible grandchildren or something. I don't know, like a letter, and I'll press it tightly into the palm and be like, okay. When I pass, I need you to do exactly as this letter says. And it's just going to have like a printout of the pictures I took of the stickers. And it's going to be like, okay, yeah, you can tell the world that that I found these on like the evening of June 17th. Freaking already halfway through June, huh? Going at blazing speeds tonight this year. I wonder if it's because like I just don't have a summer vacation. But yeah, I feel like maybe that's why it's been going a little bit faster. For the first time in my life, I don't like have anything kind of like winding down during the summertime, so it's kind of unique. Okay, that's that logo done. Okay. Then it's kind of like over here. The sword would have like its sheath right around here. It'd be shorter than this, I think. Kind of around there. Maybe. Nope. Hang on. Closer still. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of foreshortening is in play, I think. It's not a particularly long sword, the sword that he has. It's like a simple arming sword. Okay, there we go. I feel like this one's also a little bit too low. I feel like it would feel better if I kind of hoisted him up a little bit. There we go. I forgot I forgot about the entire kind of like thing back here. Hang on. I forgot to touch up the actual parts here. There we go. Okay. Then from here, what else? Okay, so time to draw the little side sketches on the side. Okay, so the one that I definitely am going to do is kind of touch up this one because, like, while this one's cool, I do have another pose in mind now, which is... Oh yeah, I found out a wheelchair asset, which is really cool. I love it when people make stuff like this. It's so much easier than to just like try and figure it out off of reference images. Right, the high kick pose here. Okay. So yeah, just zoom out the camera quite a bit. What's with the hands here? Oh, I see. Okay, then from there... Okay, and then kind of maybe flipping the pose a little bit. Yeah, the thing is that that Roland's martial arts isn't particularly like kick centric. It does have some kicking elements, but it's not like a substantial part of it. It's not Taekwondo. Yeah, I think like the one that I originally based it off of was just like basic kickboxing, with some wrestling throws kind of sprinkled liberally in there. But over time it kind of grew into like different things. So I think like the most recent iteration of this kind of martial art is based off of Sancho Sanda, which is basically like the Chinese like what MMA is to Americans. I imagine is what kind of like, or like what karate is to the Japanese. Sancho Sanda is kind of like to the Chinese, I imagine. Like it's like definitely more kind of a pragmatic than say like, something like, some type of kung fu, but it is like meant to be used for fighting. It is like explicitly meant to be used for fighting. Okay, so these kind of reach just below the knee here. God, the idea of somebody doing high kicks and cowboy boots is just so much fun. Imagine if you turn up at the local martial arts tournament and there's just this friggin' cowboy hanging out, and somehow he friggin' sweeps the welterweight division. Oh yeah. I've recently been rereading this one manga about this... I don't remember what... I think like... I don't actually remember the name of the manga, but basically it's about these girls who are trained to become like those Maiko performers. And it's a story about two of them. One is not very skilled at the whole kind of like dancing and remembering the moves thing. And she eventually becomes like the kind of a boarding house's caterer. And the other one is really, really good at it in contrast. And she kind of like becomes the local star. It's a really heartwarming story. It feels easy to read. Not to mention they make the food look absolutely scrumptious. Okay. Yeah, it is one of those like manga where like food is a very central kind of theme to it. I respect that a lot. I feel like it's only natural that like food becomes a central theme in a lot of works, because you kind of need to eat it every day or else bad things will happen to your body. Up to and including death. Which is not ideal for a lot of people, I imagine. I don't know, I've been not dying for 22 years, and it feels pretty radical, let me tell you. It feels pretty great. Not dying that I know of, that is. I could be dying for all I know. I mean, I've never died before. How would I know, honestly? Also, something that does bother me about this pose a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it kind of has to be like almost like bent inward like that. Yeah, the reason for this is that when it comes to roundhouse kicks, the way that I learned it in karate is that you can absolutely use like this part of your hang on. You can absolutely use this part of your foot to strike. Like that's not bad, and that's called a sports kick. But the traditional way to do it is that you're actually hitting them with this part of like the ball of your feet, because that kind of minimizes the impact zone and maximizes the kind of damage you can do. I feel like that would be more like the kicks he throws than the sports one. Okay. Yeah, the weekend, huh? You guys got any plans for the weekend? Me, I'm gonna study like an animal. You know, I said that I do have to go to the testing center. Excuse me. I have to go to the testing center this weekend because I don't want to get lost on the day of. Yeah, it'd be real embarrassing if the reason I failed wasn't because I didn't study enough, but because I didn't even know how to find the site. That's a bad ending I'm hoping to avoid. Not to mention, there has to be like some interesting stuff out there. It can't just be the testing center, right? It's not like some kind of CIA black site. It can't be, right? I hope not. Draw, nice. I mean, I feel like drawing is certainly work, but it's good for you to do. So yeah, I'm happy for that. Not to mention, Leo, your art absolutely whips, so I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product. Alright. Yeah. I know that it's also Father's Day soon enough, on the 19th. So that's also going to be interesting for the people who celebrate it. All right. I'll stop talking about drawing. I'm sorry. Wait, no, I'm not. Drawing's fun. I'm not sorry about this at all. In any case, yeah, I think Father's Day is happening this weekend, which is interesting. I don't remember. I don't think it like Father's like I remember Mother's Day is like the first weekend of some month, but I don't remember what the rule for Father's Day was if it had one. Trying to figure out how to make a cowboy boot look as fast as possible. Pray for me. We're reaching speeds of yeehaw that shouldn't even be possible. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why, but it always seems to me that, like, cowboys are at least somewhat related to martial arts. You know, I think there was that, like, one Western TV show, not Monk. Drifter? Kung Fu. I think it was literally just called Kung Fu. About the Shaolin monk who basically wandered the Old West and, you know, got into some shit, as you do. I feel like it was impossible to not like run into some weird stuff when, like, in that time era. People just did not have like Twitter and stuff to like while away their days and to rot their brains. So they not only went ham, they went ham with full mental clarity and focus. You know, you don't want that kind of cocktail in like a very small, isolated society. All right. There we go. Yeah. Because, like, I used to listen to an American history podcast, And whenever they opened the date with the 1800s, you knew it was going to be like an absolute mess. People back then just did not care about stuff. Hygiene, law, you name it. I mean, it makes sense. You're only expected to live until like your 30s before you got by like friggin' dysentery or something. But still, you'd think they'd have a little bit more. They'd think of their lives as a little bit more precious. Oh yeah. Something else that I learned today was apparently like the origin of the phrase like bull and bear market. Now, if you're not too familiar with like the stock trading scene, I'm not either, but like I know like what some of the terms mean. Bear market basically means that the price of so basically there's this thing called like the Dow Jones Index or like the S&P, which is basically kind of like a stock. It's hard to call it a stock, but basically most people use it as a kind of way to figure out how the kind of market as a whole is doing. And this weekend, it actually fell by quite a substantial amount, which officially made it into a bear market. Now, the bear market means that the price is going down for that kind of like centralized stock thing, and it means that like the economy is not doing too hot. That's basically all it means. It just means that the economy isn't doing too hot. People are being more conservative with their investments. They're going for like surefire bets rather than the kind of like riskier growth-oriented stuff that you would see in the opposite of a bear market, which is a bull market. Now, where this terminology came from isn't exactly known, but I do know that bear market, one possible explanation for that was actually like a phrase for getting like ahead of yourself. So, which was basically like bear, like they sold the bear skin. So the idea was that, you know, in the olden days, you couldn't just like get a bear skin so easily. You actually had to go hunt for it yourself. So if you were selling the bear skin, that basically meant you were making promises that you couldn't cash in on because you were too busy. You were selling the skin of the bear before you actually finished hunting the bear. Hence like the term bear skin jobber, which is one of my favorite new terminologies. It basically just means like a dude who, again, made promises he couldn't cash in. That might also be like the the origin of the term jobber in professional wrestling. Yeah, in professional wrestling, a jobber is somebody whose entire kind of job, pun 100% possibly intended, is to basically lose to the kind of like main act of the show. So, you know, like you want to build hype for one of your dudes, you set him up against like this dude who looks kind of mean, looks kind of tough, and you make him wipe the floor with him. All right, you just like decimate the poor man, and that's what jobbing is about. You're supposed to like make the other guy look stronger. And I feel like it's a noble profession. I feel like without jobbers, the world would be in a much worse place. Yeah, the kind of like backstage aspect of professional wrestling has always been super fascinating to me. Like the way that the terminology came about, like what each person's kind of role is. Because it is 100% based on like the grift, right? Like originally pro wrestling was a grift. No exaggeration, it was a grift. It still is technically a grift because like you're counting on people. You know, back in the day, the grift was that people didn't know that wrestling was all staged, that it was all faked. But nowadays, the whole grift is that, you know, people know it's staged and fake, but even so, they're still kind of like acting like it's real because, you know, it's just a much more exciting story that way. It is a storytelling format. Granted, it's a storytelling format that involves throwing people into the referee table, but it's still a storytelling format nevertheless. Man, I will say though that like as far as wrestling goes, Japanese professional wrestling is absolutely fucking insane. Like they will have dudes literally get thrown onto a pile of Legos. They don't give a damn. Yeah, I think like there's a term for that, like shuto or like shoot wrestling. I know that there's catch wrestling, but that's for the actual sport of wrestling. Yeah, originally coming from catch as catch can. Scottish? Irish? It might be Scottish wrestling. I'm pretty sure. I'm 90 to 80% sure it's Scottish wrestling. But yeah, catch wrestling is surprisingly brutal. It's not like pro wrestling at all. Pro wrestling looks brutal, but you could definitely like walk away from that. Catch as catch can will have a dude kind of like finagle himself around your body in ways that you never thought imaginable, and he will make you hurt. All right, yeah. Traditional wrestling is so scary. All right. Got it the other arm here. How are we for time? We got about an hour or so left. We've got enough time. Ballin'. Okay. Okay, then the other arm over here. Perfect. Man, yesterday you know how like when you're having a bad day and you get yourself like a little treat and it just kind of like basically saves you? That was me yesterday. When I got home from work, I passed by the pharmacy to pick up some supplies, and I bought myself a little Magnum ice cream bar, and it just like, it hit me just right. Very understated kind of luxury there. Okay, shirt logo right here. Okay, and then just kind of copy and paste this. Reach on over. Kind of we'll bring this down. Nice. Okay. Then from here, it's going to be kind of like a little bit of a surgical operation. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. And over here too. There we go. Now that's a nice, powerful looking kick. Okay, we can kind of rest easy with that. But that does mean we'll have to figure out how to fill out the rest of these. I feel like this one should be higher, and this one... Yeah, there we go. I felt like one of these little nubs was missing. I feel like I should also kind of put this one out a little bit more as well. That looks wrong. That looks weird. To me, at least. I mean, it might look normal for some people. I don't know y'all's lives. May you personally know some kind of kung fu and cowboy just running around the American Midwest. You're free to associate with whomever you wish. Also, if you do know such a person, please immediately give me a call. Let me know, alright? I want to talk to him. Okay. Then from over here... Actually, yeah, putting him a little bit lower would be good. Kind of like that. Well, I hope that little blip wasn't important. I should drink some water. I think I'm gonna keep this one of like him on the payphone. Okay, so maybe like this. Yeah, we'll place this one over here. Yeah, I remember that I made him carry, like, for a while. His kind of thing was like he took on a lot of like dangerous jobs, so he often just had a huge pile of phones just kind of lying around in his jackets. And like a joke was that he like somebody would break one of his phones and he just like pull out another one. Yeah, but then I realized that had like connotations about like drug dealing, so I was like, is that a good idea? Yeah, so I think now his thing is just payphones. I mean, I could have both. I could easily have him have both. Although I feel like that would kind of mount the phone bills quite a bit. You know, juggling 16 SIM cards isn't a cheap man's ordeal. Yeah, it's not a cost-effective undertaking. Okay, yeah, shoulder just kind of up a little bit. I forgot, which side did I give him the little collar ring on? Oh, I seem to vary it a little bit here and there. Okay, so I'll just make it be on this side, on the left hand. My right, his left. There we go. Got the brain working at last. Yeah, an image that hasn't left my mind since I've seen it was this image from, I think it was the 5th Devil May Cry game, of Nero on a payphone like this, and he just says, "Thanks, I guess that's all I needed to hear." And for some reason, that image felt like, I don't know, I feel like I really resonated with that image for some reason. Yeah, he also used to be a more freelance courier until I decided that he should maybe be with like the same group as that other guy, the Knights. Yeah, I feel like he'd be pretty happy to be with the Knights because they're basically they have a lot of ideals that I think he would connect with. Maybe I should make the phone line last. I feel like that would be a good idea. There we go. Oh yeah, going back to that whole market thing. Apparently that was the bear thing was why they called it a bear market, but I don't know. But it's really more ambiguous as to why the bull market is called what it is. Some people think it's because apparently, you know, when a bull tries to attack you, you know, it kind of like flings its tusks upward, which is kind of like the same kind of a upward trend in price that the bull market is about. But it really is a mystery. It's one of those like linguistic things that'll just never be solved, I think. That happens sometimes, you know. It's like linguistics unsolved. New theories on Netflix. I wish Netflix would have a show about linguistics. I know that they had that one about swearing that was hosted by Nicolas Cage. For some reason. I'm not sure why they decided that he'd be like the best host for that. I don't know what it is about Nicolas Cage. Ever since I heard about it, the man, he's just kind of been randomly appearing in my life, which I guess is kind of fair considering he's a celebrity. But I just don't know what it is about that man that like attracts people to him because, right? Okay, so hang on. I feel like the hair might need to be bigger for it to make sense. Yeah, there we go. Like, I remember seeing like a movie about him. I remember the fact that like I don't know what, and like that business newsletter that I keep telling you guys about, they also make a lot of Nicolas Cage memes for some reason. At the end of the newsletter, they always have like a meme of the day to as kind of like a send up to one of the articles that they wrote that day, and it's almost always Nicolas Cage for some reason. I think like one of the dudes, the marketing team has a soft spot for him. I didn't get very far in that History of Swearing series. I remember watching the first one, which was about the F word. But I don't remember getting much farther than that. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't my cup of tea after a while. Man, honestly, they should bring back payphones. I don't know why, because like I feel like now having a phone is almost kind of obligatory to participate as a member of society. But like, I don't know. I feel like the moment we decided that payphones weren't worth maintaining is when shit started to go wrong. I mean, obviously, it's nice not having to memorize a number anymore. But like, time was you could just call up a place and see if somebody was there. It felt more casual. It felt like more like nowadays you have like all these evites and shit, and it's just so much. You have like these Facebook events, and you have to like make sure that you're saying that you're gonna RSVP as going, or else they won't have a seat for you. It feels like we lost a lot of flexibility in terms of planning when we introduced the kind of control that phones and such technology gave us. Yeah, not to sound like a Luddite, but like I feel I have a valid point with that. It always chafes me a little bit when I bring up a Luddite and nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. They're actually a fun little gang. Basically, when the Industrial Revolution came around, a bunch of people who were working looms were very worried about the fact that these fancy new machines might come and take their jobs. So, that very different from today's society. That's a joke, by the way. People are still afraid of that. Anyway, these people were afraid that the machine, the kind of automatic loom or whatever, would take their jobs. So basically, they went around smashing up looms to just make sure that the factory owners didn't have them. And these loom smashers were led by a dude called like something Lude. Like Ludd Lude, not Lewd Lude. So that ended up happening, and eventually the term Luddite was coined, which is now taken to mean somebody who just hates technology in general. Or maybe it still applies to somebody who just friggin' hates sewing machines or something. Yeah, that's like a Luddite traditionalist. That guy's like old. That guy's part of the old school Luddite gang. I mean, looms have had it pretty good for a little too long, if you ask me. Maybe it's about time we started smashing them again. Okay, there we go. I wonder what I should have for dinner tonight. I think I'm gonna make myself some kind of sandwich. Can't go wrong with that, honestly. You got the carbohydrate kind of baked in, so you just need the meat and the vegetable component of it, the protein and the fiber or vegetable. I don't know. It feels weird to just call it a vegetable when like that's just its name. When you can have a much more generalized term like protein. I mean, it makes sense because vegetable is already kind of a generalized term. It just feels weird. I'm gonna draw him in the Knight's jacket as well. He did have one of these for a little while. Yeah, until he eventually gifted it to Aster. Yeah, he had to roll up the sleeves, I think, for it to fit Aster properly. I think he probably conscripted when he was still pretty... Conscripted is a weird word. He probably signed on with the Knights when he was pretty young, so I'm guessing they gave him like a bigger one and they were hoping he'd grow into it, but at that point he'd already grown all he would. Yeah, I feel like Roland was definitely like an early bloomer, but definitely kind of crapped out around like 16, 17. It's always fun to ask when people like, when did you stop growing? I don't think I'm growing anymore. I think like around 19, 20, maybe 21 was when I stopped growing. Definitely 19, I didn't feel myself like growing anymore. You know, I feel like when you're a teenager, your body kind of gets used to it very easily because, you know, or no, I mean, I guess it's gonna be different for some people. I don't think I had like a super drastic kind of growth spurt ever. I definitely grew. I wasn't exactly a short kid by any means, but I definitely grew quite a bit. What am I, 179 centimeters now? In my human form, I mean. So, I don't know. It's fun to ask because, you know, I do wonder what kind of influences it. Maybe stress. Yeah, maybe because he had a very laid-back life as a kid, he managed to grow pretty well as a child. But you know, he became a teenager, and then suddenly things got stressful for him. So then he stopped growing. But it makes sense that you'd stop growing if you're stressful. You know, you constantly lose more energy, so you need to have a smaller, more efficient body to burn. Yeah. Also, Roland is very funny because I think he's one of the few characters that I have who everybody recognizes the fact that the fact that he works is very, very weird. So, and I'll illustrate this a little bit. So, Roland works for a group called the Knights, and the Knights are basically in this kind of world I'm building, they basically help chauffeur people around the country because it's a little dangerous. Akai, thank you for the follow. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we're drawing out here. But yeah, he basically works for this militarized chauffeur company, and specifically he works as a courier for that company. Company is a weird word for it also. Organization, I guess, would be a better one. Anyway, he works as a courier for them, but he works kind of independently. There are couriers who are much more efficient than he is at his job. But literally everybody in the organization recognizes that for some reason, for some unspoken reason, he is just kind of vital to keeping things running. so you know, he'll be like going out to a place and they'll be like, hey man, we just delivered like 50 packages this week. How many have you delivered? He'll be like, 3. And then he'll be like, oh, but I also kind of took down this drug ring that was getting set up just over here a little while ago. Yeah, I stopped them in their tracks, and now the townspeople love me. You're welcome. Like, he doesn't get his job done, but he gets a lot of stuff done, period. So they decided, okay, listen, we can just think of this guy as like loss prevention. All right, if we stop thinking of him as a profit center and more as loss prevention, we'll probably get more mileage out of this cowboy. And they were right. So now he basically just goes around helping people. It's a good concept, I think. It's a good excuse for like why they still pay him, even though he definitely isn't as efficient as his job as like a proper kind of like mail unit. It also probably decently chafes the guys who are part of the mail unit. Okay, there we go. I always kind of get caught up. I always get a little bit mixed up drawing these little sparkle thingies. You know, I feel like if it's on pen and paper, it's probably because I'm more used to drawing them on pen and paper. In that case, they're a little bit more forgiving with like how you draw them. But like if I draw them on the computer, it's like it feels off. Okay. What other kind of sketches do I got of him? Alright, so we've got one of him practicing martial arts. We've got one of him in his knight's jacket. Maybe with a sword? That might be interesting. I don't know. I always kind of get caught up in this kind of part of the stream. You know, it's about that time when I just have to really think hard about what I got to draw this guy with. Maybe he's gonna throw his cowboy boot at something. I remember that was a joke that, like, he's like a very... Roland is an extremely kind person, unless he talks shit about his kung fu, in which case he will throw his boot at you. I think I do like this idea of him just like chilling on a bench as well. I think I'll keep that in there. Yeah, maybe not with all the scientific stuff though. I feel like Roland's understanding of science is more like intuitive than it is technical. So, for example, if he sees like a ball falling, he can more or less guess the trajectory, and he can more or less guess like maybe how fast it's going. But definitely he wouldn't be able to like kind of hash it out in terms of like sheer numbers and calculations, I think. Yeah, that's not what he does. Yeah, that's more of like Aster's thing. Aster is very slow to react, but he can definitely hash it out in terms of numbers. Man, I wish I was eating a pita right now. Pitas are so good. Flatbread, just like anything, most wraps are like really good, but there's something really good about pitas. There's a place nearby where I live that makes some pretty decent ones. I'm pretty sure it's like a chain restaurant or something, but it's still good. You know, I miss that place. I should go there soon. I don't know, maybe they'll have one at the testing site where I'm going tomorrow. That'd be something. God. The one thing that I will miss about living where I used to live is that they had this restaurant, right? I first learned about it in like this ball... In this ball. No, I learned about it because of they set up shop in one of the... It is a chain restaurant, the one that I'm talking about. They basically set up shop in a mall near where I lived. And basically they sold those Japanese gyudon, the rice bowl, the beef bowls. And they were so tasty. They were criminally tasty. I remember eating there a couple times, and I was like, and every single time I was just blown away by how good it was. It probably helps that I was like pretty much a glutton for meat at that point, but I stand by what I say. It was some of the best fast food I've ever had. And it was so tasty, and I had to move away from there literally like 3 months after it was built. I found another one in the place where I moved to, but it was really far away, so there was never a good chance to go. Which really cheesed me off. But you know, that's life sometimes. Nothing you can do about it. What fast food? Gyudon. Beef bowls. Yeah, there was a restaurant near where I used to live that sold them basically McDonald's style. Like, you could just go up and order them, and you'd get it at a tray of it, like 5 minutes later. It was really good, and I am so sad that I can't eat it anymore. Nowadays, I'd have to go to a proper Japanese restaurant to get some. And that's like... I don't know, there was something... Like, the thing is, right? With proper cooking, you actually kind of have to give a damn about the person you're cooking for. Not so with fast food. they can really juice you with the good stuff. You know, I bet this dude was just tipping the whole thing of soy sauce into the wok, and it was just like, yeah, this will give them like high cholesterol. Serve it. Yeah, definitely. In terms of my emotional health, it's bad that I can no longer access it. But in terms of like my physical health, it's probably for the best that I only had access to it for a limited time. I don't even want to know what would happen in my blood vessels if I had just gone there every day. Nothing good, I can tell you that much. The other day, right? I was talking to my mom, and I was like telling her, right? Oh, mom, I've been like kind of stressed about these exams and everything, and she was like, "Mijito," and she kind of like put her hand on her chest, and she was like, "You have to like," but like the way she was trying to say like, keep calm, but the way she kind of put the whole thing together looked like she was implying that if I didn't calm down, I would have a heart attack. Really goofy moment. I was like, okay, mom's warning me about the big one. Maybe I should cut back on like the high salt foods. I live deliciously, what can I say? Speaking of salt, I should try to brine some food soon. I've been meaning to try and like, I don't know, is pickling also fermentation? I'm not sure. I feel like pickling is like different to like fermentation. If it is, then I'm gonna try and do it because, if there's no risk of me like getting botulism from it, I think I should be pretty clear for landing. Yeah, I remember there used to be one of those like what do you call? It's that one cooking channel on YouTube that for some reason had like some huge controversy behind it. I don't even remember what it was about. There used to be this host on there called who had a show called like It's Alive, and he basically just made all these kind of like these different fermented dishes. And it turns out that because like they cut down on like the production values of the show, he's had botulism twice now, which is dark. God, cowboy boots are so much fun to draw. The thing is, right, because cowboy boots are kind of by nature a little bit tacky, you can basically get away with whatever you want on them. Like the kind of person who is willing to wear cowboy boots is willing to wear like boots that go like up to his knee. Oh yeah, I forgot the logo on here. It's got to be a little moon, naturally. Okay, here we go. But yeah, I don't know when I realized that I was a big fan of pop punk music, but it just kind of happened. Recently, a band that I was really in. I'm not okay. Disclaimer: I say this band I'm really into. I've been listening to one of their albums for about like. What happened to this dude's eye? Anyway, I've been listening to one of their albums for approximately 2 days. Magnolia Park, they're called. I like their music a lot. And I looked on their Twitter today to see if they had any new releases, and apparently they are a pop punk band. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is the kind of thing that I'm looking for, so I guess I'm a pop punk fan. I don't know what that means, though. Like, I feel like a lot of music subgenres and all that are very difficult to kind of get a good read on. First of all, because everybody's trying to do something unique and different, but also because a lot of them are kind of locked into a specific time zone. So, you got like this like fourth wave or third wave ska or whatever. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like in time periods. Like, the time when ska was popular would be the first wave. And then like everything after that would be like the fourth wave, the third wave, etc. I don't know enough about music history to dispute that. I feel like music history has to be really, really rich. It's interesting because you like, there's that phrase, right? Like, there's nothing new under the sun. But I guarantee you, like, music is just one of those areas where it's really not easy, but it's definitely more possible to create something unique to you. You know, obviously you're going to take cues from, like, famous people. That's what you do for all art forms, really. But I feel like because just by the nature of sound, it's just a lot easier. Because, I mean, you know, this is not me putting myself down. I love my art style, but, like, it is kind of like, you know, it's got like this kind of anime feel to it or whatever. And I feel like you could pretty decently categorize it into like this kind of comic book style. But in the meantime, like, music subgenre is just infinite. It's like an abyss in there. So it's kind of interesting to see just like how people categorize each kind of music. I know there used to be a website that I used to use to figure out, you know, what kind of bands sounded like each other. It didn't go by genre or anything. It just kind of like said like, okay, yeah, this band sounds a lot like this band over here. And I'd be like, sweet, I'm going to go take them a listen. And oftentimes they were correct. I did enjoy that band. Okay. So we got him enjoying a nice little snack. I should drink some water. Okay. Then from there, what else would be good? What else have I got this dude doing? I feel like maybe him camping out somewhere might be nice, but I don't know if I have enough space for that. Alright, let me think for a second here. Yeah, I got nothing. All right, how about like he's just kind of like standing here, like that went well, but like there's just some explosion behind him. I think that might be interesting. Oh yeah, can't forget the sword here. Actually, maybe that could be part of it. You know, maybe he's like drawing the sword or something, or like he's maintaining it. Yeah, I feel like Roland would be one of those dudes who like takes joy in maintaining his stuff. I mean, he's wearing a lot of leather. That usually takes a lot of heavy maintenance, especially if you're out on the road. You know, I mean, I don't know. I feel like leather might be one of those things that was like maybe suited to being kind of like on the road for a while. I don't know why. Like, I feel like there's some stuff that just takes better care of itself when it's dirty and grimy. Yeah, I know, for example, that like the reason that fabric kind of wears and frays and all that is because dirt and just other kind of like molecules kind of get lodged in between the fibers, and that eventually kind of loosens the fibers and makes it fray and just kind of, you know, get torn up. It's wear and tear, literally. So I wonder if like leather is like slightly different compared to that, because it is an organic material, and therefore it is made of cells instead of fibers. So maybe it's a little bit better with like wearing and tearing. I don't know. Potential theory, we'll have to look that up. Yeah, because like it's like how like before we had like normal plumbing, people just used to not bathe because then the kind of grime that they'd build up, would kind of just protect them from the elements. So maybe it's a similar concept, maybe like the leather just got really grimy, but that oily kind of grime was what kind of kept it in good condition. It would be really gross if that was the case, but I could see it. I remember that in the US there was this dude who friggin' wore a full thing of leather all day, every day. And his thing was that he'd basically just visit families in like a kind of like circuit around America. And he was basically considered like a really good luck charm or like some kind of celebrity. And literally when he died, they had to peel him off of the leather jumpsuit that he wore because it was just so grody and he just wore it all the time. Ugh. Yeah, that reminds me. I've had to order new face masks because the ones that I've had, I use the cloth reusable ones, right? The pandemic still isn't over, so I still like to use face masks. It's not over to me in any case. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals. I know that some people in my company who work in like more towards the western coast say, "Oh yeah, they're still not letting us like fully go back into the office." Meanwhile, over here they're just like, "Yeah, come on in. The water's fine." A lot of mixed messages. I'm gonna keep wearing a mask until I can be fully confident this whole shit's blown over, which maybe never. I'm fine with that. I joke about it now. Seeing my face is now a privilege. In any case, I got a few 6 set of new masks because the ones that I've had have been around since 2020, and they have never seen quite as much use as I'm getting out of them now. I wear a mask every day now because I'm going out every day to go to the office. So, I forgot that he was supposed to be, like, maintaining his sword. I guess I could just have him just kind of, like, holding the sword on his shoulder casually. That would be fun. God, this would be an interesting kind of, yeah, this is a cute look for him. Hang on. Anyway, I got some new masks, and I'm looking forward to getting them, honestly. I feel like I'm overdue for like a fabric mask upgrade. Yeah, friggin' over here, people really are treating it like it's over, though, because like you go on the bus, nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody. I mean, a couple people maybe, but like literally, like if I look around, nobody's wearing a mask. Not kids, not parents, not the random dude who growled at me the other day. I still can't fucking believe that happened. A man just straight up growled at me on the bus. Really funny that happened. I don't think he was... Maybe he wasn't growling at me specifically, but like when I passed by him, he growled. Maybe he was like upset about the seating or some shit, but like it's still... It was a moment. This dude thought we were in freaking Warrior Cats RP or some shit. I've been thinking about installing a swear jar on here. I figure whenever I swear, I'll like add an extra thing to the jar, and if I rack up enough points, you guys get to make me do something weird or funny. I don't know, like maybe do a full stream in a horse stance. That would last like 5 minutes. Listen, I'm pretty confident in my leg strength, but even I know that I'm not supposed to do a horse stance for extended periods of time. Okay, so quick little trick here. I want the hand to be around here. That looks bad, hang on. But yeah, I am thinking about installing a swear jar, just so I swear a little less. I'm not interested in becoming like a family-friendly streamer or anything, but I do feel like I swear a bit too much. Especially given like the kind of person that I'm trying to be. I'm meant to be a cozy, relaxing, really, really incapable of stopping talking kind of guy. I don't know. I don't know what kind of vibe my streams give. Like, you guys just come here. I don't know why you can't come here, but I appreciate your presence, but I don't know like what kind of vibes I give off. I know I've once been described as the equivalent of as like the human version of one of those little like crusty-eyed white dogs that kind of like shake no matter what situation they're in. And I could see that easily, but yeah, I'm very self-aware for everything except how other people see me. In which case I have no idea what's happening, so I just automatically assume they think I'm awesome. Yeah. That happened to me the other day, right? I got home. God, I will sound like kind of a prick while giving this scenario a rundown, but basically, the other day this was when I got the Magnum ice cream. I think I was kind of like walking home. Whenever you have eye bags, right? You like to think that you look like roguishly handsome, or like when you're like half shaved or something, you like to think that you're like roguishly handsome, but really you just look like shit. This is not a bad thing, you know. We all have off days, but I was like, you know, maybe with like my tired, exhausted expression staring dead-eyed ahead, I look kind of handsome. Then I got home and I looked in the mirror and I was like, yeah, no, I just look like shit, dude. It's important to accept that sometimes you can't look good all the time, I think. Like, you need to allow yourself that small freedom. Alright. You know, we require, as a people, we require the liberty to look kind of awful sometimes. You know, we need to look... We should have the constitutional right to look a little bit off our game every now and again. I mean, granted, I also feel like it should be a constitutional right to learn karate, so maybe I'm not the best person to talk about politics. Yeah, my whole city planning thing would be just like give free karate lessons to everybody and just see what happens. Good, bad, either way, it's gonna be hilarious. Okay, so the elbow would be right around here. God, I remember that one time I was doing like a bit where his friends asked him, "Hey, Roland, why don't you use your sword more? You really like martial arts." And I wanted to do a bit where like he's like, "Okay, listen." He's like internally thinking to himself, "Listen, if you tell them it's because you don't like killing people, they're gonna make fun of you. You need to give them like a hardcore answer that'll make them not ask you again, but also doesn't seem like way too weird." And he immediately went like, "It." Oh yeah, it's got a lot of magical qualities. Also, it can't be sheathed until it tastes blood. And immediately everybody in the room was like, "Bro?" Yeah, I remember that was like a thing in Team Fortress 2. Like there was a weapon I think called the Half Setoichi, which kind of like its item description was like, yeah, once you unsheath this weapon, you have to get a kill with it, or else you can't switch back to your other weapons. I really respect people who main like melee in Team Fortress 2 because I panic like a scared, like a frightened crow whenever the prospect of having to fight somebody up close and personal in Team Fortress 2 occurs to me. I will say though, like that one time I got like a really good melee kill. Basically, this heavy was trying to push the cart by himself, so I just kept smacking him on the head with... I was playing medic, by the way, throughout all this. I just kept smacking him on the head with like that marble statue thing, and I eventually killed him and won the game. This hand is a little too far into the hip to be appropriate. Alright, here's how we do this. Ah, crap. Alright, reselect everything. A little too far out that time. just right. Here we go. I should probably hurry up and color this thing, though. We're running a little short on time. Mm-hmm. Also, I should maybe like make it more obvious that he's kind of winking here. Yeah, that neck's looking a little thick too. Let's pare that down a little. There we go. A reasonable neck for a reasonable man. Alright, cool. Now all that's left is his personal items. The ribbon I think I will retain. I think he just kind of he keeps it around. I guess they'd be called fist straps then, right? Those are what they are supposed to be for. He's supposed to like just wrap his fists with yellow fist straps whenever he has a chance. So I guess maybe like one of them will be rolled up. They're definitely gonna look a little bit busted. I actually learned how to tie fist straps without like, you know, I did learn how to tie fist straps by myself. I've mentioned this before. One summer I basically had like nothing to do but like study and teach myself how to box. And obviously play video games and such, but I wasn't really interested in that at the time. Yeah, shocking, I know, the gamer. But basically I had like a whole summer to just like chill out in my house's basement and just go at it as a punching bag. And I taught myself how to box, basically. And part of that was also teaching myself how to kind of bundle together fist straps and tie them to my hands. Yeah, the first set of fist straps that I ever had were basically me tearing up an old pair of pajama pants that no longer fit and just kind of like cutting the legs into really long ribbons so that I could use them as fist straps. It was really busted, but it worked. And, you know, eventually my knuckles got tough enough that I didn't need to use the fist straps so much anymore. The bag itself wasn't one of like those like very coarse sandbag ones. It was kind of like a more soft one. So it worked out pretty well. Man, I really want to like get another boxing bag soon, but like I know for a fact I will make so much noise and my neighbors just will not appreciate it. Yeah, that's why I want to be a homeowner, not because I want to like have that sense of stability, but because I just want to be able to punch in peace. Yeah. Honestly, that was probably like the best shape I was in my entire life, because at the time I was also still recently graduated from the track and field club. God, the track and field club was so much bullshit. Honestly, because like the thing is, right, track and field has a lot of events, but they didn't let you choose like what event you were good at. They just made you run laps and laps and laps. It was like track and field with a very high focus on track. So I just always like ended up a wheezing, broken mess by the end of every session. Really good cardio though. Yeah, that's where I learned that cardio is very annoying to maintain, because if you like skip even a day, you will lose a lot of progress, because your heart, as it turns out, because it's kind of working 24/7, needs to have its cells replaced extremely regularly. I'm gonna like give him a little bit of a little like bag here, so it looks a little bit more natural. Anyway, because your heart wears itself out so quickly, it needs to be constantly replaced with new cells, which is good because that means you get to live. But it's bad because it means that whatever kind of cell strength you've built up, you need to seriously maintain, or else you're just going to lose it. Because, your like muscle cells, like in your arms, for example, those guys stick around for a longer time. So whatever you do to them will be much more permanent. Like I'm pretty sure, like I got buffed that summer, and some of that muscle is still there. I'm pretty sure, because Lord knows I don't regularly go to the gym anymore. Anyway, yeah, that's why cardio is just so annoying to me, but it's extremely necessary because you need to build up your stamina. Okay. Okay, I think another thing that I'm going to have him carry around is just I don't know. I don't know what personal items would kind of be like, because I don't know where I draw the line in terms of personal items, because I like to think that they're just things that they can have on their person, like little things they might have in like a little bag or in their pocket. But there's also the fact that some of the personal items sometimes include swords, which are a little less portable than that. I don't know if you can stuff your sword in your pocket. You must either be really big or the sword very small if you can. I could have the sword as a personal item. Again, I feel like that'll be fair. Oh, right, I forgot to draw it in here, too. But yeah, this dude just kind of walks around with a sword, and I think that's radical. I feel like maybe like carrying a weapon in public is really, really bad. But I feel like we should bring back the aesthetic of just being able to wear a sword for fashion reasons. I mean, like maybe it could just be like the hilt or something. I don't know. But I feel like if dudes were allowed to wear swords again, we would get mucho fashion out of that. Yeah, okay. I think I'll also keep the heirloom buckle. Also, I realized that right there it has like a C on it, so I'm gonna try to replicate that. I don't think you can really see the buckle anywhere else. Oh, right here. Yeah, this is a belt buckle that he got from his father. His father's name was Charlie, so that's why it has the big old C on there. I guess it could also stand for courier or something. Maybe that's what he tells people. Alright. Yeah. I don't think the knights are sufficiently militarized to have like dog tags as a system. So I don't think that would be a part of it. Yeah, the knights I feel like has to be like I have to make the knights so goofy that they cannot be taken seriously as a military organization. Because they really are just basically like a bunch of dudes who figured out like, hey, the country's gotten a little bit dangerous. Maybe we should like make a group that makes it easier to get across the country. And that's kind of like their origin story. Okay, so we got the belt buckle, we got the boots. Oh, actually, I mean, again, cowboy boots. Would they qualify as a personal item? I feel like they would, because like it is just like such a strong personality trait there. What about... Oh, I forgot the logo on here. I'm dodging the question, but I need more time to think. It's always the third item that gets me. It's always got to be the third item. Oh, maybe a helmet would be good. Or maybe not. I could also just make it his motorcycle, but again, I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of a personal item. Maybe not. I'm not feeling the helmet this time. I don't know, what kind of thing would like a dude who just kind of like regularly goes out into the wilderness have? Maybe a knife would be... No, not a knife. He doesn't look... He has a sword already. He doesn't need a knife. I was thinking about giving him like a jar... Like a... Oh! Wait, actually that's a good... hang on, I got it. I know exactly what he's going to carry around. He's going to carry around a little jar of Ditajao. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I feel like that feels pretty good. As kind of like a little personal item for him. So yeah, I think I've talked about Ditajao on stream before. If you haven't heard of it before, its literal translation from Chinese is falling down wine. Now, this isn't wine that's good enough that you'll fall down when you drink it. It's basically a traditional Chinese medicine kind of thing. Very popular among martial artists that basically they steep a combination of herbs and medicinal stuff in alcohol, really high proof alcohol. And you know, if they get bruises and scrapes and such when they're training, they will apply some of that to their body, and it's supposed to promote promote the recovery. So you know, if you're like training to be a professional fighter, you want to be able to spar every day, but you know your body can't afford that. So you know, maybe you use a little bit of that on your bruises and such, and maybe you can go fight again tomorrow. You know, it's kind of like that kind of deal. Not to mention, it's just not nice to walk around with injuries. So even if you weren't fighting tomorrow, it'd be nice to be able to recover just a little bit faster. I know for a fact that, like, yeah, I'm definitely in the camp of people who definitely can't hide their pain. If I'm sore about something, you're gonna know. I'm very easy to read in that regard. Actually, I'm just really easy to read, period. But yeah, I'm not like one of those people who can hide their pain. Oh, maybe some like cotton balls would be good. Or like, no. What about like some kind of sponge? A sponge might be good, actually. Maybe like some kind of like small loofah or something. Actually, no, it wouldn't be a loofah because I feel like a loofah would be just really, really bad in any kind of injury scenario. I feel like you wouldn't want like a loofah like near an open wound. Not only because it gets the loofah dirty, but it's also just like the bristles. They would just not feel good against the skin. Okay. Yeah, I figure it's gonna be like a little sponge, kind of like tied around, kind of like with a rope through it. Maybe something like that. Yeah, maybe it's like something that he like just regularly makes, you know? Like maybe it's just like maybe like his dad taught him how to make it and now he just kind of like makes it randomly even though he doesn't get hurt all that often. Or even if he's not planning to get hurt, he just always like makes a little and has some on hand. I love drawing knots because you can just like make a little heart shape and literally everybody will be like, yeah, that's a knot. I'll believe that that's a knot. Easy stuff. All right, let's increase the size on these guys a little bit so that it's not quite as lonely down here. Also, I feel like I should maybe decrease the size of the sponge and increase the size of the jar. I feel like that'll make it look a little bit more natural as well. Kind of like this. I remember a long time ago I used to have him have a little bit of charcoal cut into like a... Basically, it looked like that thing from Coraline that she uses to like see the secrets in the other world. And basically the idea was that it was like a magical item that if you wrote it down, if you wrote something down with it, you would be able to see it through the little peephole. And also, you could also make it so that other people could see what you wrote down. It was almost like that thing that you can do in Dark Souls, but yeah, as the magic kind of got more low key in the setting, that kind of thing went away. Okay, so now it's time to color. So let's bump this up a little. I don't like that color for his jeans, honestly. Skin tones should be fine. And that kind of like yellow tone is also really good for his eyes and such. So let's kind of get started with that. I'm also not going to do that thing where where half of his hair was white. That's going to be replaced by a different thing. That was like yeah, he's one of those protagonists who has amnesia, and like the whole thing was that like his hair being half white was basically like the amnesia still being in place. But you know, once he got his full memory back, it would turn back into like a normal head of black hair. I am thirsty. Okay, then next, the other hand. Good stuff. Oh, I forgot to draw the rest of this arm. It's just a shoulder floating in the void. Okay. What the? Okay. Yeah, he really likes his knight's jacket, but he doesn't trot it out very often because he's afraid of getting it dirty. Yeah, it's more of like a ceremonial thing to him. Yeah, after he takes a hiatus from the knights, he eventually gives it to somebody else. God, fist wraps are so much fun to draw. Okay, then over here... God, recently I've been following this blog on Tumblr that specializes in translating Chinese TikToks, and some of them are really fucking funny. I know there's one, for example, by this lady who is... Some people have described her as like a Chinese version of Johnny Bravo. Or like... But like, basically she has like that kind of swagger to her. That she's like, she really like does think she's hot shit, but like she's very, and she also tries to like basically hound these guys that she finds handsome. It's really funny, and like she has some really killer lines as well. Like she's like, whenever I see a guy I like, I will gift him with 2 rooms. One is my right ventricle, and the other is my left ventricle. Characters who like put on airs are so much fun. Honestly, I feel that if a character can really gas themselves up, then they can kind of like they can carry themselves by that force of will alone. Okay. You know, I read your stream title and I thought you were talking about yourself for a second. Oh shit, I forgot. Oh my god, I forgot to change the stream title. Oh fuck. I definitely forgot to change the stream title. Shit. Oh well, what's done is done. We're basically near the end anyway. I knew I was forgetting something when I set up shop today. Yeah, this is technically part 4, not 3. Well, I can rename it once the VOD goes up. It's not that big of a deal, but it still kind of sucks that I forgot to do that. Oh, goodness. I've been getting better about stream prep, you know. I've been getting better about, like, having VTube Studio open for a little bit. I've been getting better about that kind of thing. Love this for me! Yeah, Leo is like that dude who goes to watch, like, the NASCAR races just in case one of the vehicle crashes. that might be unfair to you, but like I feel like that's a pretty apt assessment of like why you swing by here. You come here to support me and to be my lovely friend, but also you kind of want to see me do some cringe shit sometimes, which is respectable. I like that. Yeah, I constantly like have this very combative expression of you, and that's very unfair, but not completely unwarranted. I will say. I don't like this color here. The white is just not doing it for me. I might change the color of the shirt. I'll have to fill out the rest of it first. I'm just a baby. You crave violence. Again, there I go. That was unfair of me. Yes, I'm certain you're a baby. Alright. Then kind of reaching on over here. I wonder if I should... Like I said, I'll have to like... Haven't you seen a baby? I haven't actually. Those motherfuckers are violent. Oh, that's where you were going with this. I don't think... No, I've seen babies before. I've definitely seen babies before. What the hell am I talking about? I've seen babies before. I don't know why I had to like stop and think for a second. Like, have I actually seen a baby? I mean, I haven't seen a baby recently. I've seen young kids, sure, but like, I don't think I think it's been a while since I've seen a proper baby around. Pap's never seen baby before, confirmed. Yeah, they're like cryptids to me. Baby is an unknown existence to me. Baby's got an iron grip. I heard babies had an 8-pack, that they were shredded. I heard a baby was over at I saw a baby. I saw a baby at the heavy weights rack over at Fit for Less. Yeah, they were going full Giles Corey. They had like 800 kilograms on the bench, but they were like just more weight. I feel like this is a good place to end this bit. I think we peaked, honestly. We peaked pretty early with this one. It's not gonna get better than Baby at Fit for Less. Yeah, I saw Baby recently have its debut match at UFC. They fucked the other guy up real good. Oh, you bastard. Alright, well, happy birthday, I guess. Did not expect this to happen twice in one stream. Alright, 2.5 minutes again? I think so. Alright, hang on. Liam just fucking overjoyed. Suffer. Suffer. Alright, hang on. 2.5 minute timer. Okay. Turn on the browser. Nice. Oh man, my legs are gonna kill me tomorrow. Whatever. What is streaming without a little glory? Alright. Y'all ready for this? Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, hang on. Hang on. I gotta... Okay, first I gotta go lower, because this does not feel like a strain at all. Alright, I'm doing much better this time around. I think I just need to warm up my legs. Yeah, if you want to check out Harvey's stuff, he's a pretty cool guy. He streams lots of shooters, and he is very witty. So definitely check out his stuff, if you get the chance. Oh, you're playing Postal, huh? How's that been going? I know that series is like surprisingly chaotic. Yeah, it's a bit too much dark humor for me, but I know a lot of people really enjoy it. Okay, the yellow fist straps, here we go. Okay, then where else would there be yellow here? Oh no, that's what I'm gonna play tomorrow. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely try to swing on by. I could probably use this one here for some of the colors on the sword. Okay. 50 seconds left on the clock, and now I'm really feeling it, gang. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, right, breathing doesn't help. I like to set things up ahead of time. I was playing a game called Tooth and Tail yesterday. Oh, I've heard of that one. That's the one where, like, you control rodents, right? Yeah, given how many times you've, like, talked about rats about stuff, that makes a lot of sense. 30 seconds left. Come on, stamina, don't fail me now. Rodent commanders. Oh, that's cool. Okay. 15 seconds. I feel like eventually this is just gonna transform into me doing high intensity interval training live on stream. And that's time. Okay. Can't get up. Come on, up we go. Stop bending your knees. Pab's handstands when? I'll have to get back to you on that. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Do a flip! Come on now. I mean, handstands could very easily kind of sequence into flip if you have very poor balance. I don't have the best balance, so that could easily be accomplished. That being said, I'd rather not try my luck with brain damage anytime soon. But yeah, you have colorful factions like the Long Goats, the Common Folk, the KSR, and the Civilized. Yeah, we got rad communists? The Civilized, huh? Is that like what they call the pet rats? The rats that are pets? What color is the Dejao? Hang on. And a wonderful selection of units like Alcoholic Squirrel, Malicious, Suicide Bomber Frogs, Ferret Artillery Crews, Sniper Foxes, and Uncle Butter. Uncle Butter scares me. What's Uncle Butter's deal? Well, I mean, it's probably... Everything reminds me of her. Hang on. I imagine it's actually a clear liquid because it is just like medicinal herbs steeped in alcohol. Alright, interesting. It looks... Okay, so... From the looks of it, it is just kind of like... hang on. This is just one of the pictures that I found. It does seem to be like just kind of brownish amber color, which is neat. That'll go really well with the color scheme. I really can't move my legs. I was about to like... I have a little stool under my desk because my desk is like weirdly tall, and I like to like... I like to have the chair at a very tall height, but because of that, I often like have my legs hanging off of it just a little bit. So I got myself a little stool to place my feet on when I'm gaming or whatever, so that my blood circulation would improve. And I cannot do that right now because my legs are so tired. Oh my god, it's gonna be quite the workout when I figure out if you guys figure out how to like hack the redeem. Uncle Butter is a boar who is renowned across totally not Russia as a 5-star cook. At the start of the war, he took up arms and joined the Longcoats and uses a flamethrower. He still cooks his meals, he just doesn't wait for them to be dead first. That's dark. God. I actually have I feel like I should like remake this guy. When I was younger, I had an OC that my friend helped me come up with called Jordan the Short Fuse Johnson, and his whole thing was also being kind of like a nutty guy with a flamethrower. Yeah. If you have you ever I think Harvey will probably know this. Have you ever seen that one figurine of an orc boy with a flamethrower, and he has like a little hole in the flamethrower helmet to hold a cigar? He had one of those as well. Like basically he had a welding mask on. Okay, so basically his kind of, okay, so let me do a quick kind of like sketch of this guy. So, okay, so he had like his hair like this. Mask like that, basically. He had like a little cigar poking out of the little hole here because he didn't want to stop smoking while he was like wearing the mask. He had like armor like this. And yeah, so the whole world of Tooth and Tails has this whole system set up by the civilized, aka the church, where meat eating is considered a virtue and vegetables are seen as the food of beasts and pigs. Well, that's... don't know how to feel about that. But yeah, this is kind of like a rough sketch of his upper half for Jordan. I should bring him back one of these days. It'll be fun to redesign him. Yeah, that's an interesting take, though. Like, you always hear, like, the kind of enlightened society about is like, vegetarian. So it's weird, like, saying that, like, the ones who eat meat are the civilized ones. That's an interesting twist. I like it. Okay. Mm-hmm. There we go. Also, does that mean Uncle Butters gets, like, pig racism at him because, like... oh, wait, no, he eats meat, so, like... yeah, I like how you had to, like, specify beasts and pigs. they specifically call out pigs for eating vegetables. Like, yeah, we see you over there. You friggin', like, tuber munchin' sons of bitches. We see you over there. Pigs are basically slaves. They are meat. Ooh, that's tough. Wait, so like... hang on. So wait, you got like... okay, so you got... so you got squirrel, militia, suicide bomber, frogs. So these are smaller animals. Why do... the pigs are like being pushed around a little bit, I think. Uncle Butter is a boar, which is totally different. Oh, I see. That makes... I don't think that makes sense, but I'll accept it at face value. Well, I know. Well, no. On the other hand, though, right? Like... no, I could see that being different. I could see that being, like, materially different to the world of squirrels. To, like, this Freaky Friday kind of world that we've stumbled upon. You know, the fact that they're like more wild animals might kind of curry them some favor. The leader of the Long Coast, Ballad, had his son selected by the annual harvest and was made... huh. Yeah, that's a decent thing to go to war over. Yeah, no disrespect to Ballad. I'm with Ballad on this one. That's a fucked up thing to do. I'm guessing the civilized were basically counting on this more or less. Like I'm guessing the civilized did that perhaps on purpose to kind of like disrupt Bellafeed's what do you call political power, right? I feel like that would be the case. All right. He was totally fine with the harvest system beforehand. He only had his issue when his son was selected. Oh, Bellafeed is a dick then. People do call him out on this. As they should. That's some bullshit. Yeah, that is like some bullshit, honestly. Guy who voted for the leopard face eating party. I never thought leopards would eat my face. Yeah, I'm gonna use this color for the coat on this one here because it is the same coat, so that makes sense. He is rich, what do you expect? I mean... like some basic decency, perhaps. But yeah, that is some tough shit, huh? Well, sucks to suck, Bellfeed. Sucks to suck. Yeah, I was on this guy. I was on board with this guy until now you're basically like, you know, he was 100% fine with it. Like it wasn't like a political power play by the church at all. This was just like him just running out of luck, and he was like suddenly like, wait, hey, no, hang on, you can't do that. That's actually kind of funny, honestly. The thing is, meat eating is seen as an undisputed necessity. People would rather eat POWs before eating vegetables. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting kind of flavor to it. Huh. Yeah, I like it. I like the kind of interesting world that they're cooking up here. It's very unique. Yeah, because like, I mean, in Beastars, for example, like... because I'm not gonna friggin' cite Zootopia on this shit. In Beastars, for example, the leader of the common folk, Hopper, chopped off her own arm to feed a child so it wouldn't suffer the indignity of eating grain. That is hardcore. All right, let me hear more about this Hopper fella. I like the cut of her jib. That is some hardcore. That is a hardcore thing to do for a child. Do I want the jacket to have the yellow highlights still? Maybe it should just be like a slightly different color. It shouldn't be darker. It should be lighter, definitely. So maybe hang on. Yeah, I don't forget bona fide and whatever the hell the civilized are up to. I want to hear more about this Hopper fella. I want to understand her way of thinking. There we go. That's a nice jacket color, I think. I think it's definitely... Hopper is leading a revolution against the civilized because she added the numbers up, and it has been quite a while before the civilized selected one of their own for a feast. Oh, shit! There's a little bit of a numbers game going on, huh? Interesting. All right, I think I know what kind of direction to take this outfit in. Matching cowboy boots to the leather jacket. Hell yeah. It somehow reminds me a little bit more of like of knight's armor in this way, which is good because that's actually really good. Okay, so then select color gamut, this thing right here, and selecting this lighter color, we'll just fill that in, and then for the darker color, we'll have this part here. So she's been leading the whole thing as a firebrand under the blessing of the Owl Mob to topple the system so the meat will be voted for instead of selected by lottery. I feel like that's not going to make it better. I mean, on the other hand, though, a system where like you could basically vote a guy into getting eaten if he sucks is kind of an interesting direction. Oh, thing is, there's another angle to this, huh? I'm listening. The common folk, yeah, heavily outnumber the other factions. Ah, shit. Okay, so it's just gonna be kind of like a shift in power, not really so much a new revolutionary system. Oh well. So a system of voting. Yeah, I see where this is going. Yeah, that would. Well, once again, sucks to suck, right? Oh, that's not the right color. Yeah, I'm seeing where the dice are falling on this one. I think maybe the jeans should be a lighter color if I'm going with the lighter jacket color as well. No, that's... Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna keep it dark. Then there's the KSR led by the Quartermaster. Yeah, I figured those might be the communist rats. Was I right? Am I correct in my assessment? Goodness. Yeah, Quartermaster is an interesting name for literally anybody, because I don't know, if you're like going around being called a Quartermaster, you must be up to some shit, right? Like, they don't call you the noun guy just for being like a decent dude. You know, like you don't get called like the noun. Like you don't get nicknamed after a noun by being like mid. You know. KSR. That almost has the same acronym as Kerbal Space Station. Space Program. Quartermaster, who doesn't give a shit who wins the war. She just wants to end it as soon as possible. Oh, it's a she. Okay, interesting. All right, so a new angle plays into this. Yeah, I don't trust people who are like, yeah, I'm just here to end the conflict as soon as possible, because those are usually the most violent ones. The KSR are basically state security. Ah, I see. I'm guessing they're kind of allied with the church, with the civilized ones, then, in this topsy-turvy world. I feel like the civilized ones would love nothing more than to have state security on their side. Yeah, at first, anyways. Oh boy, the wicked webs we weave. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is so much political intrigue. I'm into it. Okay. And from here... Yeah, I feel like this color scheme is definitely more cowboy than the other one. You know, I feel like the proper tan leather jacket is like much more in keeping with that vibe. And I'll probably use this color for the belt. I think that's it. Does that stand out well enough? Yeah, I think this color might be better. She uses mustard gas throwing skunks, machine gun falcons, wolf drill sergeants, and artillery cannons that have been stuffed with the bones from feasts. That is metal! Maybe she should calm down a little. Like, that is... Like, literally literally launching the bones of people as buckshot is maybe a bit much. You know, like... Obviously, everything still kills people anyway, but I feel like launching the bones at people is maybe a bit much. Also, I just cannot see that having like any significant advantage over just using regular buckshot, honestly. Oh, literal mustard. Oh, that's dark. That is weird, though. Why did they call mustard gas? Like, you know, in the real world, why did they call it mustard gas if it's not got any mustard in it? It probably has, like, at least a little in it, right? Otherwise, that's just false advertising. Good question. I feel like you know the answer, and I feel like I'm going to regret asking it. That might just be a hunch, though. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely a much tighter kind of color scheme for him. I like it a little bit better. Then we have the Archimedes, who acts as the left hand for the civilized and the sage Marrow. Marrow? Marrow? What, like the bone? Huh. Honestly, in a society where eating people is normal, calling yourself Sage Marrow is a pretty baller move. You know, it'd be like calling yourself like it'd be like calling yourself Guru Bucks or something in this society. I don't know. Maybe you'd get a lot of Bugs Bunny jokes on you then. Maybe that's not optimal. Yeah, I feel like I like this color scheme a little bit better. Archimedes is surprisingly polite despite the fact that he doesn't even try to sugarcoat the fact that he's going to eat his enemies. I mean, do like any of the factions try to sugarcoat that fact? I feel like that's just kind of a reality. Like, if you're literally seasoning the dudes you kill before the feast, I feel like you can't really like go with the subtle approach, you know? Maybe it needs to be even lighter, this part. No, that's too much. How many types of leather we got on here? Alright, we also have this from the shoes. That might be good. Alright, hang on. No, that's not right. Here, with this is gonna go. Ah, yeah. That as I thought, this is the best outcome. Wait, no, hang on. What about kind of flipping the role here? What about flipping the situation? Alright, not bad, not bad. That's the wrong color. Alright, here we go. Nah. I think that's pretty good. I feel like this is actually pretty good. Bellafide and the Longcoats hide behind revenge and financial gain. Hopper and the common folk hide behind notions of revolution and democracy. The KSR hide behind their duty to the state. Archimedes and the civilized straight up just admit that they are after you because you look tasty. I respect it. I do look tasty is the thing. As someone who is... Well, no, I'm made of rice. They'd be like against that, right? So I'm safe for now. Alright, then from... I really want to get the color scheme on this thing right. Alright, so I definitely think like maybe the outer ring has to be the darker one. Has to be like the more vibrant one. The problem is there's not enough different colors of leather on here for me to work with. I need to introduce a third one. Maybe for the one from the sword scabbard might be good. No, that's kind of on the purple side is the thing. Maybe I made it browner? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. We're onto something here. Then maybe what we can do is select the color here. Hold on, I have to go eat it. I'll tell you more fun tooth and tail facts when I come back. I might wrap up before then, so enjoy your meal for sure. Happy birthday once again. But yeah, enjoy your meal. But yeah, that sounds like an interesting game for sure. Do you mind if I talk about it through Discord? Sure, why not? I got some free time later today. Then maybe... What if... No. Red pants are one step too tacky. Yeah, I'm not making him do that. Alright, I think this is gonna have to be the way the moon is then. On the jacket. Okay. Then just the props and we should be ready to go. Here we go. I feel like most payphones have a blue color scheme, but then there's those red payphones from Britain. Of course, they're British, so who knows? I mean, the British drive on the left side of the road, so maybe that's why their payphones are red as well. Maybe they just have that kind of topsy-turvy notion. I feel like that was quite the philosophical reach there, but I'm very proud that I made it nevertheless. Okay. Come on. There we go. Did I forget his eyebrows on this one? I did, didn't I? Let's just paste those on quickly. Okay, then from there, I like the whites of his eyes not showing in that one. This one too. Okay, then how about this color for the bench seems good, but I want it to be like on a warmer tone, so it doesn't clash as much with the background. Same with the bag. Oh, gotta tune up this pita a little bit. Here we go. And then, you know, throw a little salami on that bad boy. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. Then, okay. The only thing left to do is, I think, write out the text for these things, and then we'll be pretty much good to go. How do you spell Grody? Do you spell it with an A or just with a Y? Grody. I think I spell it and pronounce it with just like the Y. I don't think I need to put parentheses behind each and every one of these. Some of this stuff is self-evident. I was about to say belt evident, which I don't think is a real thing. Here we go. Alright, I think this... Oh, yeah, I should probably put some text here. And I should probably fill in the color of that payphone, huh? Okay. What would he say here? I don't know. Yeah, that feels like an easygoing kind of thing to say. Okay, so maybe instead of saying headed out east, maybe it's like delivery out east again. Okay, yeah, that'll make more sense, I think. The other day, right, I saw this post on Tumblr floating around that said, like, what experience do you have that would qualify you for a veteran's discount on Tumblr? And some people wrote stuff like, "Oh yeah, I used to run a Super Hulock blog," and I feel like every time I remember that those people were real, I feel like I've seen a unicorn. This is kind of a drab white. I wonder how I could spice it up a little. Maybe just pure white? Ooh, this kind of blue is nice. You know, kind of like a minty blue. Alright, I like this color. Let's get another one cooking here. A little bit bigger. Then over here. Perfect. Oops. I had a friend who ran an MCR Tumblr and then watched them fall into K-pop hell. Did you know that BTS alone has brought like $3 billion into the Korean economy? Real shit. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me though. Like those guys are mad popular. Yeah, I also read that from that business newsletter. Probably the same color as this white thing here. Why did I say K-pop? It was BTS. K-pop? Oh, I mean, BTS is K-pop though. It's one of the more famous K-pop groups, so it's not a surprise that like they're like what people think of immediately. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave him like that. I forgot to shade in his eyes for this top part here, and the sparkles over there. With that, it will be done though. They're their own thing, to be honest. Huh, that's so. Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of like the outsider looking in kind of thing, right? I don't know much about K-pop, so I just know them as the kind of like main K-pop guys. Different, yeah. I mean, yeah, some bands don't have like one specific style they stick to. Although K-pop literally just means pop made in Korea, so if it is just pop music, then I don't know. That's just semantics, though. In any case, this guy's just about ready to go, and with that, I think we've concluded the different updates I've been meaning to get through. Let me go back to the just chatting screen. Ah, I'm in the corner. I need to figure out how to automate it so that when I switch over to the just chatting screen, it automatically puts me behind the desk. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to like keep moving myself over there. There has to be like something I can do with like stream elements or something. Anyway, thank you all for coming by. I hope you have a great weekend. Honestly, I really do hope so. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be streaming too long these next couple of weeks because I'm going to be preparing for that exam. You know, I gotta retain my energy and all that. So I think what's probably going to happen is I'm either going to do really quick sketches, or they are going to be like, or I'm probably going to like play video game demos. It should only take about an hour or an hour and a half. Honestly, it's not going to be super long streams. Yeah, I think that's all for today. Enjoy your evening, and I will see you all later. Bye.